I was like, CrossFit. But then I ended up getting mono the first year they came out with teens.
Oh.
I was like, that's what I want to do.
Favorite Gilmore Girls character?
Oh.
Kloie Wilson, welcome to the podcast.
Hi.
How are you doing?
So happy to be here.
You know, the smile brings some energy, which we need because Chris has been dead, but we got you some caffeine, so you're ready to rock and roll.
I have caffeine. I'm just posting a picture of Kloie on Instagram to see if we can get some questions for the end of the episode.
I, too, have my caffeine. Kloie has a cold brew. I would like to know the difference in caffeine content from your cold brew to this one to see which one's going to be more jittery by the end of this.
Definitely mine, but I bet I drink like a quarter of that.
Are you not a coffee drinker?
Oh, I am, but like I can have very little caffeine and then I'm like all over the place.
Yeah. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, we know you because everyone's seen you make semifinals multiple times and close to making the games. But give us a little backstory about kind of your CrossFit journey.
Oh, it's been a very long CrossFit journey. Where do you want to start? Like in the very beginning?
Well, tell me, how'd you get into it?
Day one. Okay.
This is my favorite story for every CrossFitter.
Okay. So I played volleyball in high school and we did like a summer camp at a CrossFit gym. And then after that, and like all my aunts and uncles went, they were like hardcore, like CrossFit.
Okay, they were doing CrossFit.
Oh, yeah.
So okay, I was like, they went to the summer camp?
Like,
no,
wow,
they already went to the gym. So then after that camp, it was like a 6-week camp was over. I was like, CrossFit. So then I just started going with my aunts and uncles all the time.
So was this like a coach telling you, hey, all the girls need to go to a CrossFit gym to get in shape? Or was it like an actual volleyball camp?
It was like a CrossFit like camp to get stronger, faster, jump, like that kind of thing, you know? And then, after that I was hooked. I like quit volleyball my senior year just to do CrossFit. Like after I'd done volleyball, like my whole childhood, I was like, I want to go to CrossFit games. But then I ended up getting mono the first year they came out with teens. Okay. And it was like the last year I could be in teens.
How old were you? So
17.
You were 17. Okay.
Yeah. And then
whose fault was it?
Not mine. It just randomly happened.
We don't have to go.
I was an angel.
That story, okay?
Is it even true that mono is just isn't the joke that it's the kissing?
Yeah, that probably was it. So whatever. High school was fun.
I've also heard that, but then
I don't know
everyone's
if it's
like,
actually
I don't know how I got it.
I just remember the King of the Hill episode. Where
you were just talking about King of the Hill yesterday.
That's my favorite show. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Wait, what was your story yesterday? Because this ties in.
Well, we were talking about Travis having a firm handshake, and there's an famous episode where Hank, who's a big Republican, finally gets to meet George W. Bush, who he loves because this show came out back then, and he gives him a handshake, and it's like a limp handshake, and he's like, oh. All right,
so before we started
but
before we started this, we were
talking about handshakes.
Handshakes, and she's like, I have a firm handshake, so
I got a manly handshake.
you can judge character by someone's handshake,
definitely.
Right? Like, oh, I don't like this person. All right,
They're
so when you met us today, were you impressed or unimpressed?
With your handshake?
Yeah, with the handshake.
Well, that's a good question. I don't remember it that well.
I think because we were talking about it, it's different than when you're like having
and
I
went to go shake one of your guys' hands, and then you didn't even shake my hand. It was just like and I like shook
that was
your
intentional.
Hand. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it wasn't like a real.
It was not me.
It wasn't a real handshake.
I was trying to see if you would like react, but you didn't. You were very kind. I appreciate that.
Well,
most people are like, "What is going on?"
3, 2, 1. Back to the podcast.
Back to the podcast. Boom. So you obviously got into it through that summer league, but here's the real question: what was the first workout that was like, this is awesome?
I thought that about every workout for like the first 3 years of CrossFit. I just like loved it.
What did you love about it?
I don't know.
The breathing. So, okay.
Wait, were you doing exercise before that?
Just like volleyball, just like practice.
But no training, you weren't in the gym?
No, I hadn't like ever gone to a gym or like really even like lifted any weight. Like I would always skip the weight training days in volleyball because I was like, yeah, that's dumb. And then once I started doing CrossFit, I was like, oh, this is fun. So
I'm going to give you my story, and I'm sure people have heard this before, but my first workout was Fran, and I didn't know how to do pull-ups. Like I could do strict pull-ups because I trained my whole life. I played football, but I didn't know how to kip the pull-ups. So I kind of like, you figure it out by the end, right? Like you're just
so
swinging
tired,
yourself up. Yeah. But I absolutely died doing the workout, and that's how I fell in love. And usually that's the story, right? Like someone goes into the gym, they do something that's like really hard or challenging.
Accomplish something.
Exactly. So that's why I asked. But now here's the second question then. If you like every workout you fell in love with, was it because you were beating everyone, or was it just like you felt accomplished?
No, I think it was just I felt accomplished. Like I was like, that looks really hard. And then I did it. Like I remember one morning I used to go with my dad like before school. So I'd go at like 5 a.m. And I remember one morning I did a workout and I didn't RX it. And I was like, man, I could have RX that like all day. I thought about it. So in the afternoon, I went back with my aunt and I redid the workout and I RX'd it. And I was like, I knew I could do it.
That's really cool that your family was into it as well. Do your parents and aunt, uncles still go?
Yeah, aunts, uncles, my dad does, my brother does. My brother coaches at his gym. Like, whole family loves it.
Really
so it's
awesome.
Fun because like they know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, totally. And obviously they're following along as you go through this journey.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get into it that year. You're 17. You have the mono.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the teen competition started.
That was like the first year it came out.
We already say how old you are now?
I'm old. I'm 26.
That's
Dang,
still young. Still young
happened,
in the sport.
Huh?
Yeah.
So you got in early. What year was that? I can't do quick
2000.
math.
Well, that was 11 years ago, Chris.
2000. Well, I couldn't drive. That's all I remember. I was 15. I couldn't drive because I had to catch rides.
So then it must have been 2000.
Yeah, I don't know. Junior year, whatever year that was.
Wait, you couldn't drive in junior year?
So like 2013?
Yeah, I didn't turn 16 till my senior year.
Man.
Who is, sorry, can I ask her a question, Brannen?
Please do.
I already kind of started. Who was your idol at that time? Or did you have that?
Yeah, no, I was like, I remember watching the games and I had only done CrossFit for like a couple weeks at that point. And like, it was like Lindsay Valenzuela, Samantha Briggs, like all those ladies.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember watching them do the overhead lunges and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. Like, that looks so cool.
Yeah. Who was your idol back then? I used to love watching Kalipa. I don't know why.
Well, Miko is the reason I'm even here.
Miko was great too.
Yeah.
Do you remember watching him? I'm sure you were watching more
of
the female athletes, but
he's the only person in this whole space that I just can't bring. I've walked past him a few times and I don't have the fame thing for many people, but I just turn into a little fanboy. I can't even like approach him.
All right, so you obviously go through that process with your family. What point were you like, this is something that I want to do full time?
After high school, like, so the people who own that gym, I remember they're like, you could probably make it to regionals, like if you started to like train like more than just a class. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that would be cool. And that was like back in the day when regionals was like top 60 in the whatever it was. It was like
it changed every single year.
I don't remember.
We'll talk about that.
I don't remember. So I was like, oh, that would be cool. So then I graduated high school and like I got mono that year, couldn't go as a teen, whatever. Graduated high school, and then I talked to, you guys remember Tommy Hackenbrook?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Talked to him, moved up to Salt Lake, was going to like try to put together a team with them, and it just ended up not working out. So I ended up actually qualifying for regionals that year in 2016, but it was because a bunch of girls like went team.
Yeah.
So I like kind of like slid in, you know? Yeah. And that year I ended up getting disqualified because I can't do a strict muscle up, or couldn't do a strict muscle up.
Because they had the work requirement, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was over for me the first day. And then hold
on, so you went to it and then got disqualified.
Yeah.
Each day they had a like minimal work requirement.
Yeah, a minimum that you had to do in every workout to go to the next one.
Okay.
Hold on, can we stay there for a second? Like, what was that like?
I don't know. I like gave myself a concussion before the first event, so I don't like that whole weekend.
What happened?
The snatch ladder. It was a snatch ladder, you know, and it was like 10, 8, whatever, down to 2.
Yeah.
And like I was like pretty strong back then, and I was like, this is my jam. Like I was so excited. I've always loved snatching. It's like my favorite thing. And then I went out there, or when I was warming up with the barbell in the warm up area, I was like, Camille LeBlanc was back there. I was like, oh my gosh, there's like really good CrossFitters here. Smacked myself on the barbell because I was so nervous, and like blood all down my face. And I remember being like, the fuck just happened? And I was like, it's fine. I went to the bathroom. My head had like a huge purple goose egg, like ginormous. Like people on TV were texting my parents and being like, what happened to her? Yeah. And I just was like out of it. And I was like, I'm fine. I could go do it. And I ended up like missing every snatch, but somehow made it to like move on to the next one and then got disqualified the next one.
So that was the strict muscle up one workout too?
Yeah.
It was the second workout of that day.
Yeah.
And what was going on?
Wait, hold on. So we can go find footage of this goose egg?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, cool.
For sure. Sorry. Yeah, one of the guys at my gym who was like there with me, he was like, you should put a headband on that thing. It looks gnarly. I was like, thanks, man.
Is that how he talked to you?
Yeah.
Hey, you should put a headband on that.
He has like a like little country accent or something like that. So, yeah.
Hold on. Are you from Utah? That's where you're born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So.
No wonder you're so smiley. What's that?
Everyone in Utah is smiley. Yeah.
Oh.
Canadians and Utahns?
Sure.
What do y'all call yourselves?
I don't know.
You don't know? You live there.
I know. I don't think about that.
Wow. Utahns?
I want to come back to the regionals experience and standing underneath the rings, not being able to get them. But since we're talking about Utah, one of my favorite places I've ever been is Zion National Park.
Oh, yeah, I grew up like 10 minutes from there.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's not that cool to you then, because you're like, oh, I mean,
honestly, we went up there like once or twice a year because it's always so freaking packed. It's like, we're not like 5 minutes away. We're not driving there to sit in traffic forever.
Right. That is true. It was
but it
pretty
is
busy.
Beautiful.
But
and they have good restaurants.
Think about living in the East, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, there's beautiful places over here, but when you go over to the West,
like mountains like that.
Nothing at all. And so for those that have never been there, you have to. And what is it? Is it Angels Landing?
Landing,
Walking up that was
You now have to have a
insane.
permit to hike that.
Because so many people.
Busy.
Yeah. I've heard that. Yep. And they have like switchbacks that go up, and I mean, it was just
beautiful.
It was amazing.
So there you were.
Yeah.
Under the rings.
Yes, there I was under the rings, staring at them for 20 minutes, and that's it. That's all that happened, that workout.
So the workout comes out before.
Yeah.
And like I'm guessing it's like a week before, right?
And I was just like...
What was going through your mind at that point?
Adrenaline will get me there.
Yeah.
And I remember I like kept practicing, and I don't know, you guys remember who like Mandy Janowitz and Tiffany Hendrickson were?
Yep.
Yeah, they were like helping me, and they were like, we'll keep practicing. You'll get it when you're out there. And it didn't happen. This was the worst 20 minutes of my life.
How close were you in practice?
Not close.
No. So
like
you kind of knew.
I remember like I could like get right here, and then like this to right here just wasn't happening.
Right.
So.
All right. So then
you're laughing about it now. Was it sad then?
Yeah. I was like, how old was I? Probably 19.
It's hard.
I was like an emotional 19-year-old. I was like, this is the worst day of my life.
And did it hit you while you were out on the floor, or did you wait to go in the back?
I don't remember. I just remember like the next day my head hurt so bad, and I had like these weird little paws, and I just laid in one for like 4 hours, and I was like, it's quiet back here. It feels good. Because I still wanted to like go watch all my friends, you know?
Right.
But yeah, it was so much fun.
So after that, obviously that's demoralizing, and everyone has that CrossFit story.
Yeah.
Like there's the overcoming something that you fail at,
That's
Rich Froning falling down the
sports,
rope,
right?
or Frazier missing the clean, like all those things that, Noah could have won a games, but he fell down the rope multiple times. So like everyone has had that experience. It's just like the scale on which it is.
For
but
sure.
For you personally, the scale is huge because it's about you. So how did you bounce back from that? And then what did the journey look like for the next year going back into regionals the following year?
That's a good question. Honestly, like those years were so long ago. They are such a blur.
Yeah.
Like I remember just being like, okay, my goal this year is to not make it, or is to make it, but not be like the reserve, like hoping I make it because someone's going to.
Right.
Like I want a spot definitely after the 5 weeks of the open. Like I know I'm going no matter what.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my goal in 2017. In 2017, I did a lot better. I think I finished like 17th or something.
Right. So
you're
improving then.
Yeah, it was like a fun weekend, and I like didn't really have like goals to the games. I was just like, shit, I'm happy I'm here, And then what happened? 2018, I ended up like bouncing around a little bit, ended up back in St. George, and then same shit was like, oh, I guess I'm here for the open. Here we go. So, and then I ended up qualifying, and that was the first year I was one spot away from qualifying for the games.
At what point did you, in your mind at least, reframe it to, I want to make the games, and it's not, I just don't want to be a reserve on the regional floor?
Honestly, not till like 2022.
Yeah.
Like 2018, I was like shocked. I was going in the last workout. I was in the last heat. I was like, holy crap. Like I did not see that coming at all. And the last workout I ended up winning, which was like crazy for me because I had never run a workout, and it had like rope climb, like the short rope climbs.
What was the workout?
It was short rope climbs and thrusters.
Okay.
I don't remember like the rep scheme or anything, but I remember like thinking all these other girls are going to be so much better at the rope climbs than me, and I ended up winning it. And then I was like, shit, did I just like qualify or did I not? And I knew it was just like going to be really close. And so I ended up not qualifying. But then after that's when they changed it to sanctionals or whatever.
So that's actually an interesting question for me. Like anybody that has been in the sport for so long, like what is your view on how CrossFit has kind of like continually changed things? Because so you even brought this up earlier, right? 60 people qualify for regionals, and then it went down to 48. And then it was a year, I think, of 20. They like added a regional, but it was like only 20 people.
Yeah.
And then it was sanctionals, and then they went to the semifinal format. Like, has that impeded your ability to stay focused, or is it more like, I'm doing this because I love it and I'm just going to keep going?
Yeah, no, after I wouldn't say they came out with sanctionals, I was like, fuck this, I'm done. Like, I can't.
I feel like a lot of people felt that way.
I can't pay to travel around. I can't pay to go to like, I have like money to go to one event, and if you don't win that, you don't qualify. So like, really what are the chances of going and winning an event? And then like, I can't travel to 4 different ones hoping I win it, you know? So after that, and I was also like, I was getting more into fire. Like I had already gone through my academy. I was going through my academy during 2018. And I was
Fire Academy.
Yeah, right. Fire Academy, getting more like certifications under my belt to get a full-time job. And then I got my full-time job in 2019, like first month, like February maybe?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. And then after that, it was just like, okay, I guess I'll focus on my career because I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. So that was when I kind of like was in limbo with CrossFit. Like I was doing classes and every once in a while I'll be like, oh, I want to get strong again. So I'd like find a strength cycle and do that, or I'd just run a ton. So like that was like the limbo. And then once they announced semifinals, I was like, oh, this is doable again. Like I can actually like try to compete again.
Yeah.
Which I always wanted to.
So with the Fire Academy, you get a full-time job. How did that change your schedule with CrossFit? Was it that at that point it was still just kind of play until semifinals?
Yeah, for sure. When did they do that? 2021 was first year. So so I had been working for a couple years, and my shift was 2 days on, 4 days off.
Yeah.
And before that, and like in my off season, I just like 4 days was like a lot to work out, you know, it's a lot to train 4 days in a row. So I would just like 2 or 3 days work out. And then at the station when I was there, like we do PT, but it wasn't like CrossFit, you know?
You're like genuinely just staying in shape.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to be like fit for life, not for like training. So where were we going with that?
Just looking at like, how did you handle, because here's the thing that we just had a younger athlete on a couple months ago and they were like, I don't know if I want to get a full-time job or if I'm going to focus on the sport. And like, this is a little side note, but like the reality is now it's very hard to train without having a full focus on like,
it's almost impossible.
Exactly.
I've tried to do it for 3 years now.
Right. And we'll talk about that because I think that you just stopped working, right? Like, are you we'll get into that. But like, that's the decision that an 18 to like, let's say 22-year-old needs to make. Like, am I going to go to school or am I just going to focus on CrossFit, or am I going to get a full-time job or focus on CrossFit?
Yeah. And that was like after high school, my mom and dad, not a school person. I hated school. My mom and dad were like, listen, we're not paying for you to go to college if you don't know what you're going to do. So like, if you want to pursue CrossFit, like give it a couple years.
Do it.
And they were like very supportive, which totally helped. But then at some point, like, especially when they changed it to sanctionals or whatever, I was just like, man, I'm happy I chose like to go Fire. Cause now I have a start in a career. I'm not just like wasting time, you know? So I was really happy with my choice that like, I did give CrossFit a couple years, but then like I found a way to do it with also like starting something in my life, you know?
You had another plan.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that I would always encourage people that are listening to the podcast that maybe want to get into the sport or even any young athletes we have on site. You need to have multiple plans because there are a lot of unknowns in life, and especially with the sport. Work out. Exactly. And things may work out perfectly and you hit your dream, you make the games, you make some money, whatever. But also like for every one of those good stories, there's 50, 100,000, whatever.
And I've lived that, you know? So like I was really happy that I had Fire to like fall back on, and I also loved it. So it was like, it all worked out for me.
So we just brought it up, but you just moved from Utah to Tennessee, and I think that you're no longer you're going to pursue CrossFit full time again. Tell us how that decision was made and like what the process looks like now.
Training full time and trying to do Fire is.
We've been saying do Fire. You want to explain what you do?
She lights fires.
Yeah, I like fire. I'm an arsonist.
Are you a pyrotechnic or
a firefighter?
Oh, firefighter.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
I go pick people up off the floor, basically. No, yeah. So, like, my schedule was 2 days on, 4 days off, and to train like that, like I was training 4 days on, and then having my 2 days at the station, and then back to 4 days on was like mentally taxing, physically taxing. You know, some nights I don't sleep at work, like up all night, dealing with like crappy situations that like. And it is like a level of stress that you're always in when you're at work. So when I was doing that, it was just like, I couldn't do that year round. Like, you know, I can't train, can't be in the gym every day year round. So my off season was like a legit off season. Like there'd be weeks I didn't even go to the gym. Like,
really?
I'd just be like, oh, maybe I'll go run today, or maybe I'll go do something. But it was just like, the burnout was so real. By the time the season was over, I was just like happy to be out of the gym for a couple months. And so, like, and that's definitely like to my detriment, you know, because I lose a lot of like the ability during the off season that I did. Like, obviously I'm not going to be going hard all year, but like definitely lose some strength. And then it like comes point where I'm like, shit, if I want to compete again, I got to start working out. I got to build back.
Especially now with how strong everyone is.
Exactly. And like people do this as their full-time job.
Yeah,
like
totally.
that is it. So it was just like, I can't keep up anymore. So after this last year of not qualifying for the millionth time, my grandpa was like, hey, listen, if you want to do this full time, like, I know you got some sponsors. I know that's not enough to like pursue CrossFit full time. So like, I can help you out if you need. That's awesome. Luckily, I got like a very good support system with my family and my grandpa. And so, they gave me the opportunity to do it for just give it a couple of years and see how it goes.
So cool.
Yeah.
So
I would try to stretch that out for 10 years.
I know, right? Hey, Grandpa, I still want to do CrossFit.
Grandpa, what's the limit on this?
Kloie, you're 46.
Yeah. I'm going to do CrossFit forever now.
What made you make the move from Utah to Tennessee?
There's a couple different reasons. Like, so with my old coach after the season, we kind of had a discussion, and he was like, I would love to keep you, but like, if you need to like find something that's going to work better for you, like you need to explore all your options. So I kind of took that to heart, because I was like, shit, if I am going to do this and like go all the way in, then I probably do owe myself and my grandpa, who's like helping me, like the like full idea of like researching every option I have.
For sure.
So like, to me, I kind of just wanted to like have a clean break, like kind of restart totally new and just like jump into something else, like I thought about it and I was like, well, shit, I could still live at home. I could still do like remote programming with a coach. I could like stay in Utah. And then to me, I was just like, no, like, I don't want to do that. Like, if I'm going to do it, I want to like jump in and start something, like have a new life, like go all in. So after like, obviously I chose TTT. So that's like, I wanted to be close.
How did that happen?
I kind of reached out to a couple different like camps or people who went to like a couple different training camps, and like none of them I like felt that great about. Like, wasn't kind of what I was looking for. And I know a lot of my movements needed cleaning up just because I've never had a coach's eye on me all the time. And like a lot of my shit has been like since I was like young, like the same, like I haven't learned anything new, you know, and I knew like I needed help with that. So I reached out to my manager and I was like, hey, what do you think about TTT? And he's like, oh, they're great people. Here's Max's number. Like, shoot him an email, shoot him a text. So I did. And then after talking to him, he like recommended my coaches. He's like, this is what I think you should do. And after talking to them, I was like, oh, I have a really good feeling about that. Like, that feels
what were you looking for then?
Coaching.
Yeah. Like legitimate one-on-one coaching.
Help me with my movements. Like, I want to get better at CrossFit. I like obviously want to get fitter, but I want to get better at everything I do, you know?
Right. Yeah, there is kind of a split in the CrossFit space of those coaches that are looking at kind of like the small details, right? Like if you're working on a new skill, like, okay, how can we build the foundation for this? How can we improve the endurance? And then how can we implement this into like the sport, right? Like actual racing of muscle ups or handstand walks or handstand, whatever it is, like the skill that someone's holding back. And then there are others that are just like, look, if you just keep doing CrossFit, you'll get better at it.
And that's what I was doing, especially like with like my training schedule. When I just would like start, it would be like quarterfinals. I'd be like, okay, I'm going to start training for rails now. And I would just do CrossFit, just start doing CrossFit again. And it wasn't even like I was doing a ton of volume. Like I had to be smart with my body, but it was just like, I wasn't ever trying to get better at my skills or like get better. It was just like, I'm training. That's it, you know? So that's what I was looking for. Like, good coaching.
Right. Someone that can actually like break everything down, clean up the problems, whatever those issues are. Like I saw you and Mia out there on the floor today working on handstand positioning. Is that something that you guys are working on particularly, or are you just going through every skill as you're here?
Particularly, we've been working on that and rope climbs, like running, just like...
Right. You know the weaknesses, and now you're reaching out
fixing
and saying, hey,
these little tiny things. Yeah, that like in a workout will save me 5 seconds, and that could be, you know, all the difference.
Yeah. You know, we have people in our online program compete that are asking like, what, you know, why are we doing the extra credit work? It's like all skill-based stuff. But the point always is like, look, no matter where you're at on the totem pole,
you
like
can get
even,
better.
Exactly. Like look at your peer group and it's like, can you improve, like you said, by 5 seconds on a rope climb over the course of a workout? It's like, then you beat all those people. And then you just go up to the next rung of the ladder and now you get to compete with people that are better. And then eventually you're to where you're at, where you're now competing for a game spot. And as you know, that matters even more because like
for sure.
how you lock your feet on a rope climb, where you put your hands on a handstand walk, like all those little details make you better for being able to race when it matters.
Yeah. And like, I know I just never had that like attention to detail. And like, I didn't know, like, I didn't know how to fix it, but I knew it wasn't the best. Like, you know, so that's what I was looking for. And after talking to Kyle Mia, I just was like, yep, this this feels like the right decision.
Yeah. So when did you guys start working together?
I was still in Utah, but that was like, I was probably, when was semifinals? May? Yeah. It was probably like 6 weeks after that, 2 months after that.
Cool. You took some time off,
yeah,
I'm guessing.
And at that point, honestly, I was still like, I don't want to fucking go to the gym. Like, right. I was still like kind of done. Like this last season, I started earlier, and by the time the season hit, I was just like, or like semifinals ended, I was done. I was like, I don't even want to go to the gym. So when I was working with them, and at that point, I knew I was moving, and like I had other stuff planned, and so it was just like going to be like kind of a crazy couple months of like not being super consistent. So like it wasn't very consistent for a month, and then I moved here and I got sick and blah, 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 all this stuff happened. But now it's like finally been like almost a month of consistency, and it's like, okay, like this is exciting. It feels good. Like I'm actually getting better at things.
Right. So what is the short-term goal then? Like this year, is it I want to make the games or?
Yeah.
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 And then how long do you see yourself doing the sport?
However long I'm enjoying it.
However long Grandpa is going to be like.
However long Grandpa's like, hey, keep doing that. No, I think like as long as I'm having fun in training and like feel like happy like doing it, and I'm not like dreading it like I was before, because 2022 was like the funnest year I have ever had of training, and like I loved semifinals. And then last year was a lot harder for me just because I did start earlier, and I was like excited, but I was injured, and it was just like frustrating all around. So I'm like, okay, as long as I have a good feeling and like I'm enjoying life and having fun with it, like that's the goal, right? Like if I'm not having fun with it anymore, then what's the point?
Am I remembering right that you came close 2 years in a row?
3. So 2021, Alexis took, they take top 5? She took 6th, I took 7th. Mm-hmm. And then 2022, I took 6th. And then last year, I don't remember what place I took, but I was 2 spots away from qualifying.
Yeah.
So been just like right there every time.
Yeah. And it's the little details again. That, how do you talked about like not having fun or having a lot of fun. Like what's the difference? I'm always interested in hearing from like a high level athlete. Like how do you frame your mind in the middle of like a really hard training cycle where, I mean, let's be realistic.
Yeah, sometimes
like
sometimes
it sucks.
Yeah, that's
you know
just
what
it is.
Like, but what do you do to be able to kind of stay focused in those hard training cycles or times?
I think there's 2 different things for that. I think the reason I wasn't having fun last year is because I was just burnt out. Like with work and trying to do it and not having a day off, not having a day where I don't have to go to work or to the gym, or I can just hang out with my family. Like it just wasn't fun for me. And I wasn't seeing, I was seeing progress, but I kept comparing myself to where I was the year before. And I was like getting frustrated, like, okay, why am I not getting fit as fast? You know? So I was just frustrated all around, where like to stay like focused in a like crappy training session is a lot easier for me, because at the end it's like, oh, I accomplished something hard. Like that's like always the goal at the end, right? You accomplish something hard, you feel good about yourself. So like to do that feels like that's when I love it. Like I have a shitty training session, or not even like a shitty one, it's just like a very hard training session, and you accomplish it, and it's like, cool, I did what I needed today. And you feel accomplished and happy.
Right. I think you have to have that like macro view though, to be like, it's going to be tough today, but again, I did accomplish this.
But I got through it, and I was able to do it.
It's so hard though. And like, I don't train near as hard as you do, but even in the middle of like I did a hard session today, and I'm like, why am I doing this to myself?
Yeah. And I think everyone thinks that, like, my brain when a hard thing is just like, okay, just like keep moving, like get to the next calorie or get to the next rep, or like, just think one step forward. Like don't think about the thing as a whole, think one step at a time.
Yeah. So what are the things right now, we kind of talked about like handstand walking and rope climbs, but what are the main things that you want to get better at between now and let's just say semifinals next year?
Everything.
Okay. Let's narrow it down a little bit here.
Definitely running. My running's always just been like kind of a sore point.
Did you feel that last year in the workout with the snatches and running?
My gosh, wait, snatches and running? Oh, yeah, there was a lot of running.
There was a lot of running.
Yeah,
all
what were you thinking
long run.
about?
The
first
running.
Workout. But that didn't matter as much as the sled, at least
it
not
mattered
here.
for me.
I was going that slow.
That run wrecked me. That was the worst I ever felt in any workout.
How far was that run? I can't remember. Was it 2K? It was a 2K. Yeah, so really not that far.
I was like, what are you talking about? That was on an air runner?
Yeah.
It was,
okay.
yeah. Both of them were.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was hard, but I mean, the sled still kind of changed the placing a little bit.
Yeah, but it was, oh my gosh.
You don't understand.
Did you have a good sled lane? How was your sled lane?
That's a good question. I did see a thing where I got a slow runner on one of the things, and I was like, that was a thing? I was like, there were some slow runners and some fast runners.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. I think my sled lane was fine because I think I moved it okay.
Yeah. You're kind of, I mean, you're strong though. So
yeah.
you move better than some of the smaller athletes that aren't as strong.
For sure.
The snatch run workout, was that better? If it's like a short, like high powered run, are you more comfortable with that?
I don't think I did great in that either.
All right. So running,
I don't remember.
Running in every distance.
Did you hear Lex say that the whole time she was holding in a...
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's a rough
what?
time though.
A what?
Well,
Yeah, finish your
diarrhea.
sentence. No.
I just think she needs like a trophy, because the fact that she's doing what she's doing, or she did what she did, having to hold that.
That's rough.
No, I could barely make eye contact and talk to somebody when that's happening, much less
that'd be
run on an air
horrible.
runner.
Could you imagine the alternative though?
Yeah,
If, like she's running and it's coming out.
That would be the worst.
Down the leg.
Flinging.
Oh yeah, and it's the tread is just flipping
Yeah.
everything back to the judge.
Oh, that'd
Can
be
we
horrible.
backtrack a second? I want to
Yeah.
ask about fire.
Oh, okay.
You got any cool like firefighter stories?
Everyone asks this question.
Oh, you just never had to fight any real fires, or what?
Like, yeah, but like, I don't know what's cool. Like honestly, the things that stand out vividly in my mind are like obviously like the crappy calls, but also the calls where it's just like, yeah, those are the stories that like people need to know. Like they are just like so beyond the realm of like people actually do that. Like that's real life. Like,
Well, because y'all
Those
get
are the
called
best
for other
stories.
things
I know.
besides fires, right?
yeah.
You ever do the cat in the tree number?
Yeah, no, not a tree, but a cat in a chimney got stuck in a chimney.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite story that doesn't
Okay,
involve
here's
a fire?
one of the ones that like, am I getting intro? Like, is HIPAA a thing? I mean, I don't even know the guy's name. but-
Allegedly.
Anyways, I don't have a job anymore, so I'm telling the story.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they can't fire me, right? Okay. So this is like one of the stories where I'm always just like, this is like perfectly describes like it's the call we went on that was just like, what is happening? We wake up in the middle of the night. Well, I guess it's not the middle of the night. It's like 11 p.m., but I like to go to bed at 8.
Yeah, it's the middle of the night for
Yeah,
me.
so it's the middle of the night. So I like get out of bed and I'm like weird and tired.
Hold on,
and,
you're in your bed.
well, no, I'm at work. In my
You're
bed
at
at work.
work. Okay. I didn't know that
Yeah.
that's how it worked. This is
Yeah.
all news to me.
We had beds
What?
at work. Yeah,
I mean, I
we sleep.
just assumed they were always
sometimes.
shooting hoops.
No.
For 48
Hell no.
hours straight.
Yeah. So yeah, get a call, page goes off, whatever.
Boop. This story's been edited out of the podcast for Chloe's sake. Boop. Why were y'all called to this?
Because he overdosed in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that just be EMTs or something?
Well, we are, yeah.
But so here's the question. I'm glad you're here to answer this for me. Do y'all drive the fire truck there? Why?
So
Y'all don't just have a car you can get in?
So there's like our city was different. So we had a private company that did ambulances, but the fire still responds as like support to EMS. Like we won't transport or anything, but like depending on what the call is, like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, we'll go to like the Charlies and Deltas.
Yeah. That's more and more
It just seems
popular.
like-
Here is also there are a lot of private
Yeah.
companies.
But why the truck? Why don't y'all just have like a Camry, like a red Camry?
Because like if we get a call that there's a structure fire and we're not with our fire truck, then you have to go back to the station, get
That's
the
a
fire
good
truck, and
point.
go. Yeah, like you always just have your shit with you, ready to go.
Okay,
I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit because I've always wondered this. So you talked about sleeping in your bed. How challenging is it to fall asleep at a firehouse? Because if a noise happens, I wake up. Like it literally a pin drops.
Yeah,
loud at a firehouse?
Well, just like other people maybe are still
Well, yeah,
awake.
and
or-
like some of our stations are bigger and some of them are smaller. So
get
some
your
of
own
them
room?
like we're fine. Yeah, our own room. There was one station we had like a big locker room. We had a shared bathroom, and that was so annoying. But stinky boys. But then, like the guys know I like to go to bed early, and so usually
They're
they were
respectful.
like, yeah, and like I always have like a brown noise machine I'd turn on.
That's the way to do it.
so,
Yeah.
You know, I got after like a year of getting like sleeping there, I finally got used to it, and it was just like I'm out.
and you
It
now-
took time though.
Yeah.
And how often do you get woken up in the middle of the night?
It just depended.
Well,
Most
give me an
nights,
average.
like twice.
Twice.
Some
a week?
nights, twice a night.
Oh, twice a night.
There was some stations where like we would sleep through the night. There were some stations where we were up. I remember one time we were at like this was like the worst night, and I remember it because we were like all just so mad in the middle of the night. We're like, "F it, we're not going to sleep. We're watching a movie and we're making pizza," because we just kept getting calls. We got like 12 calls in the night, and I was just like, "This is dumb. I hate my job."
Dang.
But now I miss it a lot.
Yeah. It's funny how.
Yeah, in the moment, I'm like, oh, I can't.
It's CrossFit. Yeah. That's what it is. Like you just said, you stop for a while and you're like, okay, I need to get back.
Yeah.
You look at Instagram, someone else is training, you're like, okay.
Yeah, I got to do it. No, it just depended on the night.
Are most of the firefighters in shape?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them might be listening to this, so I'll say yes.
Oh, no.
No, actually, on my last crew, so on my very first crew, my captain went to my gym. So, like, he knew about CrossFit. Like, he'd watch me do it for years, you know? So, like, me and him were tight. And then my last crew, but the one I had before I left, one of the guys owned a CrossFit. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing about your job I wanted to know is, so you probably had visions of, man, if I want to really pursue this career, I need to not have this job, which is providing stress. If I want to do it at the highest level, that is. When you and so you had this dream of what it would be like when you could just only train. Yeah. What has matched that expectation, and what has been different that you didn't anticipate? Like new problems that may come up, you know, now it's all, is it all sunshine and rainbows just like you thought, or is there other things now?
You know, I feel like it's still so new that I haven't like really had time to figure that out. Like, because I did crash. I moved. My mom was here for like a week, and then I did crash, and it was like I hadn't really settled down into like a real training until like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So one thing I have noticed is like I thought I would have like a lot more like time, and like I wouldn't really mind being at the gym, but now I'm still just like, oh, I got to go do this. I got to go home. I got to prep food. You know what I mean? Like it's still like. Life still happens fast.
Yeah, it does. But you'll find a better like time management.
Yeah, exactly. And like once I have like a better routine and like everything's like figured out a little bit more, I think it'll feel a lot better.
Right, totally. I want to go back to the family dynamic because I think this is the coolest thing. Like this is my dream. So I have 3 kids.
Okay.
And they're all super young now, but they'll come in the garage and like watch me and mom work out or whatever. But as they get older,
Jordan, I ain't letting that slide. What? The one time Jordan worked out, they saw her in there?
She's been working out every night. Okay. I'm really proud of her.
Send me the video.
So anyhow, point being, like we're trying to slowly introduce them to like, hey, you know, we want to stay fit and like we're going to be a fit family. Yeah. And eventually want to get them into the actual gym or like let them do some training. Yeah. Like right now they're just doing like burpees and air squats, whatever. Yeah. I think it's so cool that your dad and brother, aunt, uncle, all those people are doing it. When you started, were you guys all doing the same workouts together? And then like, was it like an ongoing thing as you went home? Were you talking trash to each other?
Yeah, for sure. And it was like, me and my dad went to CrossFit like before I could drive every morning together. Like
so
that was like
awesome.
I would go 5 a.m. with him and then go to his work, shower, and go to school. You know,
is so
like
cool.
And so then like my family's like you know, you first start CrossFit, you're obsessed. You talk about CrossFit, you get all the CrossFit. Like that's what it was. Like I remember in high school, like my friends probably being like so annoyed at me because I'd be like, guess what I did in my workout today? But then it was like that's what my family loved. Like me and my brother would talk about it. Me and my dad, my aunts, my uncles would text them.
Y'all ever like duke it out in a workout? Like if y'all were having some beef, like let's throw down a friend.
That'd probably be like the best way to do it.
That would be.
But no, me and my brother actually really got along.
Who's the fittest in your family? Is it you?
Yeah.
Make sure her family gets that.
Who's next? Who's next?
I got an uncle that qualified for like the online masters semifinal.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That's super impressive.
Yeah. So.
How old is he? Do you know what division he's in?
Do you know his name?
That's okay.
I know his name.
Yeah, don't even.
I know my uncle's name, but I have no idea what division he's in.
I mean, no, that's very challenging to get there. That's cool. So how fit is your dad?
My dad.
Be nice.
My dad lives his life, man. He goes in waves where he's like, my dad loves to travel, so him and my mom like go travel forever.
Nice.
And then he'll come back, and you just get out of routine. He's like, man, I need to go to the gym. I'm still paying my membership. I should go into the gym. And then like the same thing, he'll start going to the gym, then they'll go travel. But yeah, I think he's like on one of his off things right now.
If they come and visit you, you have to bring them down, and we'll all do a workout together. I think that's super cool. And the last one is, how old's the brother? Is he younger, older?
Older. He's like a year older than me.
And is he still training?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, I'm guessing, like the text thread as you get ready for quarterfinals and all that. Is he doing the open in quarterfinals?
I don't think he's made it to quarterfinals.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay.
Cody, have you made it to quarterfinals? Yeah,
he's doing the open though.
Yeah. He'll come watch me do the open, and then after that, I'll go watch him do the open.
Yeah, I absolutely love that.
Yeah,
that's so. Anyhow, your family is that's my dream is that to have
fun.
My kids do that at some point. All
right, that would be sick if they did a CrossFit family, like a family competition.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
How would
CrossFit
you do that?
Ever document you or like hear y'all's story and come do a little? family thing?
Yeah, that'd be great. More camera time. Yay.
You love it.
Yeah.
What would the standards be for that? So it'd be like mom, dad, and then it'd have to be 2 kids?
What? No, I don't know if you'd have to do it. It'd have to be any configuration of family.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be challenging.
Yeah, it would
then.
be hard.
Yeah.
But that would be super cool. I'd be down for that.
We have a family at my old gym. We had like a mom, dad, all 3 kids came. Like there's a couple families like that.
So
at our
speaking
old
of
gym.
team, you mentioned with when you brought up Tommy that you were brought in to maybe do team. Have you ever thought of team before? It's always been indie.
Yeah, and especially now, it's like, okay, I have to prove to myself that I can make it to the games. Like, there's no way in hell I'm going to try to go team until I can go as an individual. You know?
Yeah. Do you feel like you will feel accomplished if you make it? Is that like the end, or is that just going to make you more hungry to continue to keep competing every year?
I think I'll get there and I'll be like so happy I'm there and I'll compete and it'll be over and then I'm like, next year I have to do this.
Do
like
again.
I have to place higher. Like I want to be better. You know.
I mean, I think that's just a natural competitor
Yeah, I
in
think
you
so
and,
too.
and anyone that's like a high level competitor. But I always find it interesting that like everyone has these end goals, but then once you get there, you're like,
no, still not good enough.
I can do it again. Like,
no, I think like if I make it, when I make it to the games, it'll just be like, I'll be so happy to be there and I'll be like the greatest experience, but like, I'll still obviously want more.
Yeah. Now you're moving into North America East.
Yeah.
Was that a conversation at all? Like, okay, what's the difference between West and East as far as the semifinals go?
A very little conversation.
Yeah. Not really.
Not like
right. You know who you are and how good you are.
It
so
was just like, I don't know. Like I know some people have moved to the West because they think it's easier and it hasn't panned out for them, or they moved to the East because they think it's easier and it hasn't panned out for them.
Right.
So it's like, does that really even matter? Like, I think you're good enough to make it if you make it. If you don't, then like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
The last thing I'm interested in is the coaching dynamic. So we kind of touched a little bit on that, and like the skills that you guys are working on. But like, what are the things that you were surprised by, like having? You're working with 2 different coaches that are helping. They're kind of tag teaming the whole process for you.
Mia and Kyle Habdo.
Mia Gianelli and Kyle Habdo. What has that process been like for you as far as like the things that you were like really surprised about, and then the things maybe that were like, I thought this was going to be a little bit different?
Honestly, I don't think I had a bunch of expectation going into it other than like wanting more one-on-one coaching, you know? So I didn't have expectation of like this and this and this is what I want fixed. I've always known my clean needs help because that thing's a disaster. So like when Kyle was like, hey, we need to work on your clean, I was like, please, let's do it. You know? And then like I knew I needed help with gymnastics. Like I feel like I had learned enough to get through workouts, but not be very efficient. So like
you're pretty good at gymnastics based on your numbers, but yes,
I can get through stuff, but like it could always get better, you know? So like once like like we've been going through things and like Mia's like, oh, this could be better. This could be better.
Right.
Then like, I'm like, yeah, okay. Like what I'm trusting you guys completely. Take me through it.
Right.
Let's do it.
What about with 2 coaches? I think this is like when people are hearing this, that there aren't many people that work with two coaches, but it's pretty cool because you have kind of 2 different minds where Mia is very much like she's great at the gymnastic skill. I mean, she's great at everything, but the gymnastic skills, she runs our intermediate program and competes. So she's the one that's writing all of like our progressions for, hey, you need to learn bar muscle ups or ring muscle ups or handstand push-ups, handstand walking. So like her eye for that kind of detail is amazing. And then Kyle Habdo, he also is a physical therapist, so he can work on positions and any in-range issues that you may have, but then he's very good with the technical lifts. So having both of those eyes, I assume, is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it's been great. It's been, especially like with them both here and they can communicate with each other. For me, it's worked out like perfect. Like I don't think between them too, because they can communicate well between each other, but like it's been great to have both sides of that where Mia can help me with my gymnastics that needs help, and like some of the stuff like that I need to fix is so hard for me to see, that to have her, like even just being here, like I absorb so much because it's like, oh, I can get immediate feedback and like, I don't know, it's great. And then with Kyle, with my lifting, it's just like the same thing. Like his eyes are right there and it's like, okay, that's what I need to change. Because for me, it's really hard to see sometimes like what I need to fix, or like, did I do that right? Did I do that wrong? So like just to have 2 really good sets of eyes like is great.
Let's cut through the BS. Who do you like more?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't spent that much time.
We do have some questions from Instagram.
Oh.
Are you?
I bet
I got some fast.
I bet one of them's my brother.
Yeah, you want to think of your rapid fire?
No.
Go through the Instagrams?
I've got a list of questions.
All right, let's do Instagram first.
Yep.
All right, the fittest saint. How were you able to balance being a first responder with your training? He or she's in a similar situation, and I find it difficult sometimes to train, eat, sleep, etc.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of balance. It was all fire when I was at fire and all CrossFit when I was training.
So if you could remove the fact that you were trying to be one of the best in the world, do you feel like there would have been a way to balance it better? Or is it still going to just...
I mean, if you want to be competitive and like a semi-level athlete, then...
Yeah, if you could remove that, do you think you could if you were just a weekend warrior, could you have...
Yeah, I think so. It would be a lot easier on your body too. I think you prioritize eating and sleeping enough, especially off a shift, and then be smart, like listen to your body on the days you do train.
Mia Gianelli, I don't know if you know who that is, but she wants to know your top... This is a multi-part question, so we'll just break it up as we go.
Okay.
Top 3 Taylor Swift songs.
Oh,
are you a Taylor Swift fan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I don't know.
Yeah.
It depends on my mood.
Are you a Chiefs fan?
I don't care about football.
Oh, there we go. So you don't have a top 3?
Of football?
No, Taylor Swift
It just
songs.
depends my mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a go-to that you want to give the audience?
Just something
So you're
now,
not saying
please.
depends on my mood?
Yes, please.
Well, what's your mood now? What's your... Look at that face. When someone's asking you questions you don't want to be asked, what's your favorite Taylor Swift song?
Don't ask me my favorite anything because I will never have an answer.
Oh, no.
I like ask a favorite, not the favorite.
All
All right, next.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you. Move on.
You're not going to like the next parts because they're all favorite. Blame your coach. Favorite Harry Potter character?
Oh, that's easy, actually. Fred and George.
That's 2.
Okay, well,
The
they're
twins don't
twins.
come together.
Yeah, they're packaged.
No, they're not.
They're both my favorite.
My kids just started watching those.
Oh, I'm obsessed.
Yeah, they like them.
What's your favorite movie or favorite book? Did you read them or watch them?
Both.
What did you like better?
Read.
Oh, that's the right answer. Okay. What's your favorite book?
I don't have a favorite book. I don't know.
You don't have a favorite one?
Like favorite Harry Potter book?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, like I thought you meant just overall. Okay. I can tell you my least favorite.
Number 5.
What one's that?
The one where Harry's like, "Wow, I'm special. Everybody hates me."
Yeah, the one with Dolores Umbridge.
Number 5.
The
Order
of the Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate that one.
Yeah, that's everyone's least favorite.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't even have to ask her. I just rattled it off.
It's just because of Dolores Umbridge mostly, though. And, like, Harry's whiny
He's
in
just
that.
like, "Where?
Yeah.
I'm the chosen one. Where?"
Yeah.
Favorite Gilmore Girls character?
Oh, Luke?
What is Gilmore
Lorelai.
Girls?
I don't know. Both of them. I love them.
Gilmore Girls.
It's the best show ever.
Is that no, that's Golden Girls.
It's got, I don't know what her name is, but it's a great show.
All right, next question. Brady wants to know, how was training for being a competitive athlete as a firefighter, and what has that transition? We kind of answered that, Brady. You're going to enjoy the first part of this episode. And then probably the most important question to just get off on this podcast, single or nah?
Yeah, I got a boyfriend. Sorry.
Sorry, Morris. Sorry.
You're welcome. Let's see, Brandon, you got any rapid fires?
Do you want would you rather questions, or would you rather just have like some easy?
Well, that is a would you rather question.
That is true. Would you rather have would you rather questions or regular questions?
I don't know. Regular?
I think I'm
I kind of want to mix the both.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Just like some super easy ones to start. What's your favorite day of the week?
Sunday.
Why is that?
Because I get to do nothing.
Oh, okay. With training?
Yeah, and like sleep in and do
I would say
whatever the
mine
heck
is
I want.
Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine used to be Friday, but
Just hang out with the family.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen.
Like, I love going to sleep on Saturday night and just being like, I don't have to be anywhere in the morning.
That, you know what? That's fair. But then
Like,
it would be Saturday night would be your favorite day of the
Okay,
week.
yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
Would you rather text to someone or talk on the phone?
Oh, do not call me on the phone. I will not answer.
It's so
I've got to
funny.
make a highlight reel of these reactions.
so annoying.
All right. Would you rather?
Hold on, what'd you say? My dumbass.
Don't call me.
Don't call you.
The only person I answer to
And
now
even
is
if
my
you're on
mom.
fire.
Yeah, no.
Would you rather be able to speak any language or talk to animals?
Oh,
That's so easy.
is it though? Because my boyfriend speaks Spanish, And
talk to animals.
But his family speaks Spanish and his friends speak Spanish. And sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. And then I wish I could speak Spanish. I guess I could learn Spanish and then talk to animals. That's my answer.
Yeah. But then you're not speaking any other language.
Yeah, no, just Spanish.
So,
okay.
I'll talk to animals.
That's the dumbest question I've ever heard. Of course it's talk to animals.
Okay.
What would you ask?
I got there
I don't
eventually.
know. Maybe it'd be depressing, though, because if I found out that my dog and cat weren't as into me as I'm into
they
them.
actually hate you.
I'd be like, let's go back to not talking.
You are the worst. You leave us in this apartment every single day and go to work.
It's like, what if you found out what you thought they were thinking is just way off?
All right. Would you rather have smelly feet or stinky breath?
Smelly feet because you could keep them in a shoe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is the same, Chris?
Oh, yeah, that's a duh.
Yeah, I agree. The smelly feet or the stinky breath, people always remember.
Yeah.
So you just got to keep that in mind. All right. Would you rather be constantly sticky or constantly itchy?
Oh. I hate both. Itchy. I hate when my hands are gross.
I would much rather be sticky. Itchy is the word. Okay, so here's why.
No.
Here's why. I got into poison ivy like, man, you remember this? It's like 7 or 8 months ago. So like I was out in our backyard and there was ivy all over our back fence. I didn't know it was poison ivy. So I didn't have a shirt on. I'm grabbing it and just like hugging it, throw it over the fence.
Oh my gosh.
The next day I wake up and from neck down, everything is completely like broken out.
Was it just like an itch every once in a while?
No, it was a constant itch for 3 straight weeks.
No, yeah. No, that would be horrible. But like sticky's also really like I can't.
I could be sticky everywhere but my hands.
Yeah, if my hands were clean.
Is it just my arms and stuff?
And I was
were
it like
sticky?
an itch every once in a while, or am I always like
Yeah.
constantly like?
You know what the worst kind of itch is? Is y'all ever been like really bad sunburn?
Yeah.
Where you're like boiling and burnt?
Yeah, like you get
When
like
you have
blisters.
an itch
Yeah.
and you're sunburnt?
So painful.
Yeah.
Make that noise for me. What have you been doing?
I don't know. It just it naturally happens.
Yeah, it does.
All right, 2 more. This is not a would you rather. What's your favorite holiday? Tells a lot about a person.
4th of July.
Wow.
I like 4th of July.
Yeah.
Wow, you
It
don't
wouldn't be
really
my
hear
favorite.
that one that much. Why? What is it about the holiday that really?
It's just fun.
Yeah.
You just
Are you
spend the
like
day
a lake
outside in
person?
the sun. Yeah, you get to be at the pool or the lake.
I think it depends on like what your tradition is with your family
Yeah,
or
probably.
friends, right? Like if you do have like we go to the lake
Yeah.
and this is what we do, we barbecue.
it's
then
summer, and
yeah.
I love summer.
Summer's
I love the
awesome.
sun. I love the heat.
Well,
And
especially in Utah, right? Like
Yeah.
because then it's like
it's
warm.
fun. Yeah, and like even at work, I love the 4th of July because it was fun. Like you get little brush fires, you go have fun for the night. Like it's just a fun day.
Yeah.
Are you a jazz fan? Like Utah Jazz, not like the music.
I just recently found out that that's not a college team. That the Utah Jazz is like an NBA team.
Oh, okay, that answers everything.
So-
Yeah, you're not a sports fan.
No, I just found that out at work.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sport that's not CrossFit?
Baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah, I could get behind watching some baseball, but that's because like my best friend at home, like her kids play baseball, so I go to all the baseball games.
Well, the kids' baseball is much
No,
different.
they like so.
I can
she's-
get into any kid's
She's
sport.
older. Her kids are like my age. I'd go watch
Oh.
like their college baseball
Oh,
games
okay,
with her.
gotcha.
So
You didn't say that with much conviction, though. I feel like you're not a sports fan at all.
no, like I could care less about watching them. I
Yeah.
just like would go with
Yeah.
her, and it's
Wh-
like,
wh-
oh, baseball, yeah, I can watch.
So tell us what's like the normal routine? Okay, like we know the training thing, but if you're not training, what are the things that you actually like to do?
Nothing. I love to sit on the couch and watch TV.
What is your favorite shows?
Gilmore Girls, Modern Family.
You also
New
agree
Girl.
that Modern Family fell off after season 2?
No, I love that whole
Come
thing.
on, season 1 and 2 were pristine.
Yeah, they were great. I like when Luke and Manny are younger. They're definitely
Yeah, I know. Once Luke grew up,
Yeah.
you're like, ugh,
Yeah.
bad casting choice.
Like he became a worse actor somehow.
Yeah, God bless him, but
But yeah, I don't know. I like the same 5 shows I watch on repeat all the time.
Okay, so then let's end with this. Would you rather? Would you rather watch the same show but only one episode for the rest of your life, or eat the same food for the rest of your life?
Eat the same food.
Because you just like watching shows that much?
Yeah.
It's like,
And I also love food, but like
but the same food? That would be awful.
I don't know. I feel like your questions need work. That's a duh again.
How is that a duh?
But like you could eat the same food, but if you had to watch the same show,
Well-
like what show's that good?
exactly. If I could
Like only
The
one
reason,
episode?
so here's why I would say the same show, because I don't watch any shows, so it wouldn't bother me. But I want
Oh.
to have variance with my food.
like I look forward to every day going home and like, oh, I can watch TV for an hour. Like that is like the best part of my day. I love it.
I think I just had like a weird childhood where we didn't watch anything, and so it stuck with me.
Well, yeah, I like really didn't either. Like we played outside 24/7. But like that's like my safe place. Like I love to go home and watch my comfort show and just like do nothing. Like no one talk to me.
Do you watch trash TV?
I've started.
Have you started The Golden Bachelor
Dude,
yet?
yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I just watched The Golden Bachelor and
so good.
I'm obsessed.
Is that trash?
There's one more. Yeah, trash TV, like reality, like game
it's
show
just,
stuff.
And Love is Blind is good too.
I
Like,
was thinking like Temptation Island and
Love
those
and
kind of
Blind,
things.
is that my girlfriend made me watch that one. That's where they're in different rooms.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my roommates
Jordan
watch
watches that.
I didn't like that one as much.
Dude, it's so
Golden
horrible.
Bachelor, though, I recommend to everyone, especially because it's so novel at this point because they're all 70 or 70,
Yeah,
70
so
and older.
65 to
Yeah,
like
and
70.
so it's different because when they're 20, they're all just out there having a good time. These people are mostly widowed. I think all of them are
Most of
widowed.
them, yeah.
And then it's like they only have X amount of time to find love,
Yeah.
and it's a totally different
My
show.
boyfriend turned it on as a joke one Sunday morning when we were like doing nothing, and he's like, "Haha, let's watch this," like thinking it was funny, and I was like, "No, I am into this,"
Yeah.
and I religiously watch it every week.
Are you a big
since.
Gare Bear fan?
No, I just love how crazy the women still are at 70.
What do
I'm
you
like,
think? What do you
these
think about
bitches still
Gary?
Get
Though?
jealous.
Is it Gary or Jerry?
It's Gary.
Gary.
He seems
so
like a
positive.
genuine man. Yeah, I feel like I couldn't handle that all
Yeah.
the time. Like, be grumpy.
Yeah, I
Be
want
ma-
to
be
see him get
mean.
pissed off.
Yeah.
I want to see him yell at somebody.
Yeah.
I need a mean man.
Yeah.
So
Show some emotion other than
the
happiness.
ladies are also in their 70s?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it.
would it be more interesting if he was 70 and they were all in their 20s?
That would
No?
be interesting.
Oh.
But I love the old
Not into
ladies. Like, I love the fact that they're old.
You
and
just said
still,
that they're mean too.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that they're still living their life and like they still get in feuds with
Dude,
each other.
Kathy or whatever, she's a little conniving.
Yeah.
Come on, Kathy.
She
get
like,
outta here.
yeah. Oh my gosh, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
I
wonder
feel
if she was
so
a
out of the
plant.
loop right now.
Well, you
Yeah.
just
You
need to go
catch
watch The
up.
Golden
Hey,
Bachelor.
Jordan doesn't watch it?
I don't think she does. When she
'Cause
turns
Luke
on the
Parker,
trash
you know
TV,
who
I
Luke
leave.
Parker is? He's at Mayhem now, but he was here with us before he got on The Bachelor. He was on The Bachelor. He was was it Bachelorette? He was a contestant, and so we got to watch that whole thing unfold.
See,
that's
I've
how I got into the show.
He was like the villain.
I've
on that.
never watched The Bachelor or Bachelorette ever. I've
really?
I started with The Golden Bachelor.
Okay, I started with Luke. Well, I've watched Luke, and then now I've watched the Golden
Okay.
one. I didn't keep up.
I
after
did.
Luke
we
left.
did watch some of Luke's season just because he
That
was on it.
amazing.
That's the only time
Well,
I've
the
ever
best
seen
part was going out. We went out on the town one time with Luke during the filming
show?
of it. It was wild. I've never seen anything like it. Because
Such a cool experience.
He was attacked by just
Oh, because
cougars
everyone
left and
recognized
right.
it?
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah,
Glad I
well,
wasn't there.
yeah.
it's a great show. I recommend it to anyone listening
Shout
to
out
this
Luke.
podcast.
He's a good dude.
He is a nice guy. Kloie, thank you for coming on. I'll ask you more
survived.
questions once we turn the cameras off.
Cool.
All right.
See you guys.
Peace.